Yes, everybody, welcome back to Talking Wolves. Welcome back to another update video on the channel. Hope you guys are keeping well. Just under 24 hours till we see Wolves have their first pre-season fixture back in the UK. We face off against Stoke tomorrow. Let me know for you guys that are going to that match if you're looking forward to it. Of course, I'll have my reaction after the game tomorrow as well. But a few things to talk about. Frustratingly, no major incoming news at the moment. It's moving a little bit slowly still. I do have faith in the club that they're going to get things right, but they're cutting it a little bit fine now, to be honest. I was hoping that going into this weekend we'd have maybe one or two more signings. Jean Arias was announced yesterday, so it is nice to have him through the door, although not expected to be part of the next couple of fixtures. May well be with the squad next weekend against Girona in Spain, though. Two more players that may well be part of the squad tomorrow as well. Hugo Bueno and Rodrigo Gomes. They both arrived back at Compton this week. Interestingly, Hugo Bueno with the number 3 on the shorts as well. Obviously taking that number from Ryan Aït-Nouri, who moved on this summer. So maybe a little hint that he could be the starting left wing back this season. But big news in regards to Strand Larsen. It said that Newcastle United hold an interest in the forward. Of course, there's going to be an ongoing transfer saga probably for the next few weeks or so with Alexander Isak, the Newcastle forward, expected potentially to have a big move away. And Strand Larsen is one of the players that Newcastle have identified as a potential replacement for him. It said that a couple of players that would look to sign a couple of players to replace the quality that obviously Alexander Isak has at St James's Park at the moment. This story came from Liam Keane at the Express and Star, and although they have an interest, no contacts between the two clubs as of yet. It's not expected that Wolves want to sell him. It's obviously going to take a monumental fee for Wolves to even consider it. And thirdly, it said that Strand Larsen obviously is happy at the club as well. So maybe one to watch. I wouldn't get too frightened about this one just yet. I think part of us could take this as a compliment, can't we? That, there's Champions League level clubs such as Andre with Juventus, now, Newcastle and Strand Larsen, clubs in European competition looking at our players. But for this one, I think Wolves would have to demand a good fee anyway. Sign for around 25 million. You're probably looking at least doubling it. And then, you're getting later in the window. It's going to be harder to find the quality then as well. Wolves really, as well as Strand Larsen, need to bring in another player. So I think it's quite important that at the moment we keep hold on to him. I wouldn't get too upset about this one at the moment, but very interesting maybe to keep an eye on if Newcastle do go serious if and when they lose Alexander Isak this summer. One other player that has been linked potentially with a move away is Rodrigo Gomes. It was said by sources in Portugal yesterday that Porto had reportedly inquired about Rodrigo Gomes. However, that has been quashed by other sources in Portugal as well, saying that Wolves have no interest in moving Rodrigo on. And like I said earlier on with Strand Larsen, it would take a huge offer for the club even to consider his departure. Again, I'm expecting fairly big things from Rodrigo this year. More than likely going to be in the wing-back area. Be interesting to see whether he plays on the right or left against Stoke City tomorrow, if obviously he's given the opportunity as well. But yeah, Rodrigo, hopefully we keep hold of him. But I can't see Porto stumbling up the money that Wolves demand, if I'm completely honest. Another Portuguese player linked with a move away, Fabio Silva. We know more than likely that he's going to be moving on. A chance of a Fabio redemption arc is extremely unlikely at the moment. AS Roma, the latest club to be linked with him. From stories obviously coming from Italy. Now, it's likely that Wolves do want him to move on a permanent basis. Going into the last year of his contract, it's said that Wolves may well hold an option for an additional year as well, which would give us a little bit of security. But a sale pretty much has to be done. His stock's pretty high at the moment after a productive year for him last year in Spain as well. But Roma at the moment interested in him. Probably looking at a loan with an option, but again, Wolves don't want that. Wolves want the straight sale. So I think we need dominoes like this to fall in place for Wolves to help Wolves start spending. They've still got a lot of, I know we've got rid of a lot of dead wood, but there's still players there with value there as well. Fabio is one. You'd probably say Gage and Hwang are others. Sam Johnston still at the club. There's players there, but Wolves probably need to be a bit more proactive rather than reactive, and try and get some more faces and players through the door, if I'm completely honest, in the next week or so. One player that has moved on is Boubacar Traoré. His loan move to FC Metz has now been confirmed. Back to his old club. Needs that game time, Boubacar, and I think that's something in 12 months Wolves can review whereabouts he is. Dexter Lembikisa as well. More than likely going to be going out, probably on loan. Could be a permanent, to be fair. He's been on trial at the moment at Charlton Athletic. So a pretty decent level for him, but again, just not really progressed over the last 12 to 18 months at that first team level, which Wolves need, to be honest. So Dexter Lembikisa more than likely going to be moving on this summer as well. And quickly we'll touch on the away kit, which was released yesterday. Well, officially out today, but released yesterday. Whoever runs the club shop has probably had a real big telling off, because it was out on display probably around 4 o'clock yesterday afternoon, way before it was due to be released. Look, I like the design of this, but I just think it's a really lazy design. A few people have said to me, well, if you don't like it, you don't have to buy it. That's not the point. I think the design's okay, but the colour and everything is just boring, because this is the perfect picture. Look, you know, we had the minty colour that we've got this year is pretty much identical to the goalkeeper kit that we had last year. The pink goalkeeper kit this year is identical almost to the pink goalkeeper kit last year. It just screams to me that Sudo had too much material left over and they've wanted to make use of it again. It's disappointing, because a team with so much quality and history as Wolverhampton Wanderers, they've got so many really cool designs, things to take influence from, and colours to take influence from. You know, we've got the old gold, we've got black, we've got white. There are hints of turquoise and blue in the history. You know, I think this kit flipped around almost, or this kit with a main colour white and the blue detail, a little bit, you know, going back to sort of the 96, 97 design. I think that would look great. But this just I think they've really let themselves down with a really nice design, because it's got the wolf head and detail on the sort of bottom half of the shirt. But because of the colours, I think it's just a little bit frustrating with this one. And a little bit underwhelming for me, unfortunately. But there we go. There's my inner Gokwan for today. But guys, before we finish off as well, I am playing in a charity match at Darlaston Town on Sunday. Raising funds. Harry Gill, who's on the channel, the fans react, unfortunately his dad passed away last year, so it's a match in his honour, really. There's going to be a raffle on the day, and a sort of a match which I'm playing in, a football match that I'm playing in. You're very welcome to come down and support. If you're free on Sunday afternoon for a couple of hours, come and check it out. I'll leave the details on the screen now. Press pause if you want to jot those down, and hopefully we'll see a few of you there. But until then, guys, look after yourselves. Hopefully it's a victory for Wolves tomorrow. Hopefully we get some good minutes in their legs, so we see some impressive performances. Enjoy your weekend. Smash the like button. Subscribe to the channel. I'll catch you on the next one.